The ones who built the house originally would be thrilled by what has happened since. And they would probably have been pleased to see that what they had set up in 1904 was still being used by the family in such interesting and imaginative ways.
This was a particularly personal project to us. It was where Ben's granddad was brought up. It's now shared between his extended multi-generational family. They were in need of more space as well as some accessible accommodation for the older members.
The project was about rescuing and restoring this crumbling Grade 2 listed arts and crafts stable block.
It's always been a building I've loved. It had become simply a deposit for junk.
The spaces which are now bedrooms or living room, I think, well, this is where I used to chop wood, or this is where a lot of junk was stored.
The stable block's located in the Monmouthshire countryside in South Wales. We believe a key part of addressing the climate crisis will be finding clever ways to make the most of the existing resources we already have. So it was really important to us to do our best to minimise waste and make the most of all the amazing bits that were here that we could play with. Because the original building was agricultural in nature, we had to be quite careful and mindful of that in transforming it into a home for people. One of the key features of the building were these 3 large sliding doors with fan lights. Unfortunately, they became rather rotten at the base, so we needed an innovative solution to be able to make the most of the south light, as well as retain a sense of privacy.
So we developed these pivoting louvered panels that can be operated with a simple geared mechanism. This allowed them to respect the original solid character of the original sliding doors, but avoid a goldfish bowl effect. So you can have a lot more privacy, and it can be very bright from the south light, but also intimate as well. You can control the sun as you like.
That seemed to me to be a perfect solution for a large south-facing plate glass space.
In the tack room, it's been really nice. We managed to retain a lot of the existing tongue and groove boarding.
And we didn't want to detract from the space, so we designed a stair to sit lightly within the panelling, and also designed it to have perforated risers in order to make the most of the big picture window light.
And even stuck up a couple of the bridle holders, which have made brilliant coat hangers. That was rather nice.
Although we had to take down the staircase, we were able to retain these and use them as stepping stones on the rear extension. We use simple materials in creative ways.
We used a dark green glaze on the more decorative formal front, which also references the impressive fireplace tiles in the main house. At the rear, we used this plainer Staffordshire blue brick.
This is a local material that was actually found in the original floor in the horse stables. We used this same Staffordshire blue throughout the ground floor finishes.
We cut down the existing sliding doors in the most efficient way possible to minimise waste and repurpose them as external shutters and as internal sliding doors with exposed runners to maintain the kinetic and agricultural feel that the building originally had.
We also did quite a lot of work to restore the old cupola. It was dramatically suspended on site whilst craftsmen scarfed on new timber legs, and now it sits on new stainless steel rods to prevent future decay. It's been quite nice that a lot of those materials and those textures have been able to be retained, and it sort of actually feels very much like it did in the past.
It was inhabited by a retired businessman from Birmingham who used to run a youth club in this building. And one of the things he did was to show films. Ben and Claire have kept, I think rather wittily, the projection hole and the peephole that was made in the wall.
So the main living space is obviously really special, but I actually really enjoy being up in the hayloft bedroom. This is a place that has so much character from the past in it, like the old hay chute hatch down to the horse stables and access door where they used to bring the hay in up into that loft space.
And we're fortunate still to have the stables in operation and horses living there. When you sleep in this bedroom, you can still hear the horses moving around at night.
I think being able to see everybody enjoying this place and the generations getting to love it more and more is very pleasing indeed.
The extension was really key to the success and simplicity of design. So by containing all the sort of modern elements that you need for modern life within this area, that freed up the rest of the design, and it was really great because the building has so much character in itself. While it can be challenging balancing the heritage, environmental and modern requirements, it can result in something really truly special.
In rescuing the house and the building, for the family use at least, I think my great-grandfather would have been very surprised but pleased.